because I strongly believe that a bigger dip is coming and I already have my cash ready. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if you have followed my channel, you should have noticed that I have been away from YouTube for quite a while. So what brings me back today is actually the market crash in April that is almost fully recovered now. I have read a lot about people that panicked during this market downturn and sold almost all of their stocks. But there are also people who bought the dip and made a great profit. And yes, I'm the panic sell group. So today's video is to share with you the mistake that I have made during this market crash that I really regretted, but also makes me realize what kind of investor that I really am. A few weeks ago in April, Trump announced tariffs and the market just went crazy. At first, I was very calm, like very calm, and I don't get why people were panic selling. I would say I believe in long-term investment, and there's no need to take any drastic measure for this kind of like short-term movement. Furthermore, most of my money is in VOO, which tracks the S&P 500, and also some solid companies like Nvidia and Singapore stocks. So I told myself that I think I'm good, I will just stick to my plan and continue dollar cost averaging. But then the Monday came and the market dropped even more, and suddenly my portfolio was underwater. I would say that's the point where the anxiety started kicking in. So I decided to go online to look for advice, and I think that is probably a very big mistake. There are just a lot of investment gurus that pop up out of nowhere and started sharing their prediction, their analysis. Someone actually suggested buying inverse ETF, which means when the market go down, the inverse ETF actually go up, and that's how we can profit during a market downturn. But I didn't take out that advice, although back then I'm pretty sure that the market will continue go down. Firstly, I don't want to invest in things that I don't really understand. Secondly, I was just thinking if the market suddenly recover for whatever reason, I will actually be losing more money. So anyway, back then, there seems to be this online consensus that a bigger dip is coming. People are saying things like, oh, you should sell your stock now, suffer a small loss, so you can have more cash to buy back when it's at the bottom. And there's just more and more this kind of posts appearing that really made me question my decision of holding on to my stocks. I think what brought me was this particular post that comparing our current crash with the dot-com bubble. It says that during the dot-com bubble, the market crashed like 80% and took 15 years to recover. And I would say back then I was like, oh no, do I really need to wait 15 years if the history repeat itself? Is 15 years seems really long. It's not like I can go to another planet where the time move faster or anything. And honestly, at that point of time, I felt pretty okay about letting go of my stocks, and I was even quite happy about that decision because I strongly believe that a bigger dip is coming and I already have my cash ready. And we all know that it never happened. And almost immediately after I sold half of my stocks, Trump announced a 90-day delay on the tariff except China. And the market just go up like crazy. It just recovered. And I was just very shocked and very stunned, like, how can a policy be flip-flopped so easily? Anyway, at that point of time, I felt stuck because if I bought back in, I'll be buying at a price higher than I sold. But if I didn't buy back in, I might miss the recovery completely. So the next few days, I took some time to reflect on myself, and I realized that I was trying very hard to time the market, which is like the number one mistake that all the long-term investor will tell you to avoid. But I just kind of fall into it without realizing. So anyway, I resumed my dollar cost averaging at that point of time. I still kind of believe that the real dip is coming back then. So I was patiently waiting for the real dip to come. while I seeing the stock price going higher and higher and higher, slowly recovering. And just few days ago, Trump's announced a delay on the tariff with China, and the market just straight out recovered. It basically returned to the price that I bought in at, and even higher for some of the stocks. And now I'm just sitting here realizing that the real dip is never gonna happen. Looking back at it now, I actually didn't need to sell half of my stocks. If I have done nothing since April till now, I'll be holding more stocks that are now up in value. So after looking back at what I did for the past few weeks, I can safely say I'm an expert in buy high, sell low. Anyway, lesson learned, I learned the hard way to not time the market. But I also think I did two things right. Firstly is I didn't sell all of my stocks. I still kept half of it. And secondly is I didn't invest in the inverse ETF or just take out any advice that the online people talk about. So anyway, if you have also made some decision that you regret during this period of time, comment down below and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.